Get on here and give you guys an initial impression of the KSuspension 4-port injectors on the XJ. Then I realized we haven't really looked at the XJ, so let's look it over. So she looks beautiful from the outside. You get underneath, you start seeing some more issues. There's good, there's bad. I don't actually have a lot of money in this vehicle. It's kind of one of those ones, when I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna get this. I'm not gonna pass this up. It was a pretty low price when I bought it, and but it had issues. There was a brake line that was leaking that I wasn't told about. Had to find out the hard way. So almost all the cars I get, by the way, try to kill me. You know, it is what it is. If you haven't seen the video about the Civic, go watch that video. My EJ1 and how it almost got me killed. Check it out. You'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so for this one, it was the brake line. But I got it fixed. And then it runs great. It's a 4.0. So this is the Wagoneer Limited. Gotta give you a shot of it. We'll look around more later. It's the Wagoneer Limited. It's an 88 model. So it's an XJ that's like kind of dressed up like a Wagoneer at the time. And it's pretty cool. So it's a 4.0. It's got the Dana 30, 35 setup. And so it's pretty good. It's a solid Jeep. And when I got it, like I said, I had the brake line messed up. It's got more issues underneath than you see. She's beautiful outside, but we'll go underneath, we'll look at it. Not gonna go into too much depth. I could do a video, probably 30 minutes on all the stuff that I need to do to basically restore this Jeep. But it's drivable as it is, and I've been driving it like a lot of my vehicles. I like to drive them. I'm not trying to just, you know, I don't care about showing off. I don't care about none of that stuff. I like to drive my vehicles. I like to use them. They're all tools for me, you know, to some degree or another. So same thing with the Jeep. It gets used. Now, this Jeep doesn't have specifically high miles, but it has some abuse from underneath. We'll check that out in a minute. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. And I'll check this beauty out. Do a video on that if you want. We'll do some modifying. So just looking around the Jeep, looks pretty good, right? I mean, they really did look cool. So it has this kind of a deluxe interior, if you will. A couple rips here and there, but you know, not too bad. It's the same in the back. The headliner's kind of faded, but you know, you get this dash, and you see here, I don't know if you can see, but 161,000 miles. So not too bad as far as the mileage. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so 4.0 inside. Might as well pop the hood. Let's look around the outside first. Just gonna look around the outside here first. And pretty good looking Jeep. Got a little dent here, you know. These things kind of spaced out a little bit. It's got the canyons on it. Honestly, I think they look good. But yeah, pretty good looking Jeep. The roof, you know, needs paint. All right, so got the Renix 4.0. Nothing special. Engine bay doesn't look as good as the Civic does. I did do these injectors recently. We're going to talk about that later. I will give you my initial impressions on them. I still have more testing to do, so but yeah, no problem. They worked out great. They worked out great. And I did a video on this. KSuspension has a great video, by the way, if you guys want to know how to do the injectors, if you want like just a walkthrough. So I didn't do that. I didn't video me doing that, but I did run into an issue with the two O-rings here, so I did a video on that. So if you have an issue with that, just you can go check that out. There was no intake when I got the Jeep, so I have this, and that's basically what was on it. So I did find one in the junkyard. It's very dirty and it's bent. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to get it to seal. So if you guys have an intake for this, anybody has an intake for this, you can hit me up on my Instagram and let me know, because I'd love to have the factory intake. That's what I'm trying to get. All right, so I'm gonna also show you underneath, because everything looks really good in this Jeep on the outside. So when you get underneath it, you know, things get a little different. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell. Well, let's see. Let's see what we can do. All right, so exhaust, super rusty, but you can see up here, there's a hole right there, up above the muffler there. That's in the floorboard. Well, it's actually right under the seat, so that sucks. There's actually a lot of this is rust free, but you know, there is rust. There is rust in some places. It's a Jeep. But the bumper's there. The bumper, you know, it's intact. Came with a little badge that said Wagoneer. That's pretty cool. I took all my stuff out of here, so it's nice and clean. You can check it out. That's what it looks like inside. This is the air filter for when I get the intake done, oil filter, but I think the original wheels look like that, pretty sure. I don't know, I didn't have them when I got the vehicle, so she's on canyons. Which honestly, let me know what you think. I think they look great. I think they look great. So the 4-hole injectors, my initial impression on those is awesome. From KSuspension, they shipped it out very quickly, so no wait on that. Now there may be wait from time to time. I've seen on the website, sometimes it says that it might be a while or whatever, but for me, it didn't take long. And they didn't know that I was like a channel or anything like that. I didn't tell anybody anything. I just ordered it, and it came pretty quick. I had my injectors installed very easily, and yeah, and then I had to do the O-ring situation. It took me a few days because I had to order that part that I had in that video, but once I got that squared away, I drove it a little bit, and I've driven it a few miles, you know, maybe 100 miles or something. So far, so good. This car feels great. Feels better than it has for me so far. Now, if you go look at that other video, I have a picture of the injectors that came out of this thing, very clogged. So that has something to do with it. I mean, they were in terrible shape. The reason I even did it was because I was gonna have to take them out anyway to replace an O-ring, and I figured, you know what, instead of replacing the O-ring, I'm gonna upgrade, because everybody told me you gotta get the 4-hole injectors. You know, and I said, you know what, I think I could use the 4-hole injectors. If you're thinking about it, do it. Now, I can't speak to the 12-hole injectors that are also available through KSuspension. They're probably great. There's a lot of people that have them. I just got these. I got the Reman ones instead of the new ones. No problem. They're gonna work great, and it's better on the budget, right? And everything's on a budget around here. So 4-hole injectors, I'm impressed. It seems strong, doesn't struggle going up hills. It's smooth. It's just smooth. Honestly, you just want to drive it. You get in, it just runs great. Like, I'm not even kidding. I mean, it ran before, it ran decent, but it runs good. Now, I'm gonna do some fuel mileage tests. That's not to say that these injectors are supposed to make your Jeep get better gas mileage. Not to say that. but I bet you I do get better gas mileage. I was getting between 13 and like 14 on a really good day. If I could see any improvement over that, I'll be happy. But yeah, so my initial impressions, KSuspension, 4-hole injectors, it's a go. Nobody's paying me to say this. I don't talk to KSuspension or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys my experience so far. So good. But yeah, there's the Jeep. Figured I would show you all that. There's my little Coleman Minibike. I have a few mini bikes. I know I don't have an air filter on it. Shame on me. But this thing's fun. You can never get too old to ride around on a mini bike, in my opinion. I mean, maybe you guys think you're too old to ride on a mini bike, but get on one. Well, get on one and you'll smile. Maybe the next day you might be mad at yourself. They have no suspension. The little thing has no suspension. When you get going fast enough, hit the bumps, you know, you'll notice it. But they're fun. They're really fun. The kids can ride them too. And you know, like I said, I'm like 6'4". I have no problem getting on that thing. I mean, it probably looks funny. It probably looks comical. Maybe I'll make a video for you guys of me riding the Coleman. But dude, they're great. They're great. I think I'm gonna get an exhaust for it. Might get an exhaust, might get an intake. I have a couple that I upgraded to the Predator engine, and those things are cool. They really rip. You gotta be careful on them. There's no suspension. The DB30s. So this is like that's a smaller frame than the DB30. You guys want to see some mini bike content? Let me know. I'll do some mini bike content. I have a blast with it anyway. It'd be fun to do. But there's the Jeep, guys. Let me know what you think. You want to see more of it? Let me know. You know, I do drive it. You know, I'm not gonna baby this thing too much. Now, I don't think it's gonna be like crazy off-road. I'm not gonna lift it. I don't think I'm gonna lift it too much or anything like that. I could lift it maybe 3 inches, but I'm probably just gonna keep it this way, drive it. These things are very usable in the stock format. They're very usable. You know, you're not doing anything crazy, but and I may do a few functional upgrades with maybe the cooling system, things like that. We'll see. But you've seen underneath it, there's some major issues too. You know, the holes, I think you can get those sections, and then it would need to be cut out and welded in. That's a little bit above my skill level with the welder. It's not the time for me to learn. You know, I do want to practice more with the welder, but right now something like that needs to be done right, so that's going to be some money. So probably not going to happen very soon. I just want to get it before it spreads too much, and so that we can preserve this vehicle. But yeah, I'm going to use it. I drive all my vehicles, you know, the Civic, the Pontiac, they all get driven quite a bit, other than that thing, which has a blown head gasket. I don't know if I want to fix it or just get rid of it. Whatever. Should I fix the Chrysler or get rid of it? I don't want to do the head gasket, guys. Maybe I ought to give it to my mechanic friend and pay to get it fixed. I don't know. But anyway, I think the video is probably run long enough. I hope you all have a good one, and I appreciate each and every single one, as always, of you. Until next time, take care, guys.